This is Investor Ideas, and we're here at Money 2020 2015 in Las Vegas at the Venetian Hotel. Money 2020 is one of the largest events covering payments and financial services innovation. And what better place to host this than Las Vegas? So if you want to have some insight into the future of money, from mobile payments to biometrics to Bitcoin, this is the place to be.
John, have you guys applied for a BIT license?
Yes.
You want to tell us about that process and how you compare it to the California approach versus the New York approach?
Yeah, so we applied for one of the 22 that applied for a BIT license, and we're working with the department on being granted that license. We're looking forward to that. I think, you mentioned earlier that Circle obviously got their license, and they've talked a bit about sort of that process. I think, to what Grant said, the California bill as it stands now, we think is pretty good. And we think actually we'll have a pretty streamlined process. Now, obviously, it's a legislative proposal. New York Department of Financial Services, as many of you know, has pretty unique powers among the states to kind of create regulatory regimes. So, it's just kind of a different process that we're going through in California. But as it stands right now, it seems to be more streamlined. I think one of the things that, and since Circle's not here, we'll just talk about them. They encountered, and I think anytime you have a regulatory regime, it's difficult to implement on for the regulator, is because many of our companies have traditional stored value products, where one side of the house is kind of examining that, and then you have these entirely new products that are digital currency based. It's difficult to sort of thread the needle on examining them both in a way that is both, I think, efficient for business and frankly efficient for regulators. My hope is the more applications that are reviewed and more the companies sort of are interacting with the regulators, that process will become more efficient. That's something that I think we were concerned about as the BIT license was being constructed, and something that we would like to be able to avoid with the California bill, avoiding sort of that dual licensing construct and instead just focusing on sort of one regime.
Let me ask you another state.
Yeah.
So I noticed that Coinbase stopped doing business in Wyoming.
Yep.
What happened there?
So what happened in Wyoming, and no one's had a drink yet, so we can talk about permissible investments, I guess, which is a very exciting topic of conversation. So permissible investments, for those of you who don't know, are basically the requirements for financial institutions or money transmitters, such as Coinbase and others, who are holding customer funds to be able to hold those funds in certain investments in certain vehicles. So that we don't run off with the money or lend it out or otherwise. When individuals want to come pick it up from us, they can do so. So what Wyoming said is they didn't feel that they had the flexibility within their statute to be able to allow to denominate Bitcoin or digital currency as a permissible investment. So that makes it very difficult when we're holding X number of Bitcoins that are equal to X number of dollars.
We're required to have 200% reserve.
Correct. Especially with volatility. And it's our belief that if we're holding dollars on behalf of our customer, and that's the currency that they're going to expect to be able to pick up from us, then we should denominate that. Those permissible investments should be denominated in that. If it's Bitcoin that we're holding on their behalf, and that's what they're expecting to be able to get from us, then we should be allowed to denominate it in Bitcoin or other digital currencies. So having said all that, we had to shut down operations there. However, the bank commissioner and several legislators actually proactively reached out to us, and I think other companies, and are very interested in getting this fixed.